Good morning and welcome from the city of Hamburg. Today I'm going to walk around the streets of the city again, take a couple of pictures from whatever piques my interest, and I'm going to give a couple of tips as how I am composing my shots. And I'm really going to focus on taking my time, having a real nice and slow approach, not rushing, and see what the results are. So come along. So I've come to a place that I already photographed in the past, but nevertheless it's a compelling scene, and apparently there was good reason for me to take this picture. Let me show you. So I'm talking about this scene here, and we've got this really nice house facade here in the background, and now the trees have some real rich foliage, which wasn't the case a couple of weeks ago. And there's people having a coffee break or whatever, sitting on the stairs. So it's a real nice vibe. We've got some side light flooding the scene, and yeah, really simple shot. It's f8 focus to infinity and aperture priority. I've just found another scene that I'm drawn to. Let me show you. It's this little place right here. And if we go a little closer, I'll show you what I really like. I'm actively looking for these old shop doors together with these facades with old tiling. To me, it's something I know from my childhood, and these kinds of shops or doors, they tend to get less and less over the years here in Hamburg. So whenever I see one, I get a little excited and I take a picture of it. And as in this case, when there's some nice lighting on it, even better. So look at this scene right here. We've got repeating patterns in the shape of these arches. And we've got one here, obviously, and then there's another one, a little tunnel, even further back. And then right in the background, we have the entrance to the church. And that is a really nice succession of these arches in the frame. I could do without, there's two little motorbikes standing there which clutter the scene a little bit. But apart from that, you can isolate a subject up there really nicely. You'll get a nice silhouette. And it's just a nice combination together with the architecture. So in this scene, I'm purposefully underexposing the shot by one stop, because I don't really care so much about the shadows here. They can go into black. And also, I don't really care about the subject being properly exposed. I just want these areas here and there to have nice exposure and have lots of detail, because that's something I want to incorporate into the picture as well. I'm going to follow the rule I set for myself today, and instead of just giving it a minute or two at one spot, I'm going to wait around here for, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes and just see if there's some interesting thing happening or an interesting subject walking through the scene. If not, I tried, no big deal. But yeah, you never know what's gonna happen. So let's see. Taking your time and slowing down can really improve your photography, especially when you really make a conscious effort, so you don't feel pressurized by any appointments or something that's going to happen later in the day, or maybe some other people that are going to disturb you, whatever it may be. More time will allow you to notice more details in the scene. It will allow you to see how people usually interact with the scene, and it will give you more time to refine your composition. So I've come to a scene I've shot once before, although in much better light. Usually there's a train going across this bridge here, which is a nice element that also takes time to wait for. But right now, the light, it's really flat, to be honest. There's no contrast in the scene. But again, since the sun is going in and out of cloud at the moment, I'm going to wait. So let's see. I waited around for a couple of minutes, and the only subject that was interesting was a woman with bright red pants and shoes. And I don't think the image works at all. But I tried, I took my time. So, mission accomplished for this scene. It does lend itself very well though for some proper subframing. But there was too much going on, and it was very difficult to isolate a single subject. So I'm going to try and find something different. So I just took a picture of this scene here, and as you can see, again, it's kind of a tunnel, which seems to be a recurring theme in some of my images. And just gonna let that lady pass. Essentially what I'm doing here on a technical level is subframing. So subframing can be done in a variety of different ways. The one way I'm doing right here is pretty much giving a framing from the outside of the image, like a vignette basically, to further emphasize the center of the image. But you could, of course, also just have a completely different area in the scene that's framed in whatever way. Doesn't matter if it's rectangular or a circle shape, or as long as there's a frame, a noticeable frame somewhere, and it's framing a point of interest that works very well. Just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, I'll show you in this scene right here. We have this little patch of light on the left-hand side, which I can isolate with my 50mm lens. But we still have a completely different scene going on here on the right-hand side of the picture. So what I can do is I can frame this part here on the left-hand side, wait for a subject, but still show something completely different in the rest of the scene. And I will have this long pillar here dividing the frame into two parts. And if you make that really well, then that can make for a very compelling image. Honestly, I don't even know if this scene needs a subject. With the sun hitting and casting really nice and sharp shadows, this screams black and white edit to me. So I'm going to take a picture of this and slap a black and white high contrast edit on there. Yeah, there we go. Nice symmetry, nice architecture, nice clear and straight lines. All right, this is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed and maybe can take one or two of those tips I gave you to implement in your next outing. I'm going to leave you with a couple more pictures, and if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or even subscribe. See you next time.